This is Alan Bishop, head alchemist at Spirits of French Lake Distillery. We're glad to introduce to you our newest bottled and bond bourbons, the Lee W. Sinclair 4-grain bourbon and the Matty Gladden High Rye bourbon. As always, these two bourbons are deeply rooted in the history of our location in the Black Forest of southern Indiana. Always double pot distilled, never chill filtered, made using the finest grains, alternative and historic yeast strains that we propagate ourselves, and the methodology that once made southern Indiana an epicenter of American distilling. Matured gracefully in 53-gallon No. 2 char, new American oak barrels, using a low 105 entry proof. The Lee Sinclair presents an oak-forward profile, which pushes forward the definition and conversation about bourbon possibilities, while the Matty Gladden graces us and demonstrates respect with her 35% rye mash bill. It's not just the spirits in the bottle, it's the spirits of the place. Respect the grain and drink responsibly.
We can do the Mike Miles now. Just act like we're the popo busting in here.
Yeah, every morning. You just gotta ignore that. That's our other job, folks. Inside job. Welcome back to this another awesome addition to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We are in a different setting. We set up behind the bar, so we will have a YouTube broadcast. Hi, everybody out on YouTube.
Hello!
Hopefully this is recording. Looks like it is.
It looks like it. We got the red dot going on, Tiny.
You are loud tonight. I think we got this right. We were pre-drinking some Knob Creek. We are honoring the barrel pick that I'm going to be doing this week, hopefully. And so we had a little bit of Knob Creek, but tonight it's kind of exciting because we are doing the line of Heavens Door whiskey with the Heavens Door whiskey sample set. So we've got the Tennessee bourbon, the double barrel whiskey, and the straight rye. That's going to be interesting. But
yeah, it is going to be interesting. And based off of my little research here, you might actually be impressed with the rye. So I hope it tastes the way they describe it, because it would be very interesting to try. So.
All right, so we do have to cover a little bit of the sponsorship. We played the ad initially, but the Spirit of French Lake, Jolie Kasperzak and Alan Bishop are two of the finest people on the planet. We are going to be seeing them. It isn't April yet, but it's almost April, and once April hits, that third week of April is just going to be a blast. We're going to be coming down there and doing some fun things, podcasting out of there. We very much appreciate their sponsorship and the support that the Spirit of French Lake gives us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alan and Jolie.
All right. So, the Spirit of French Lake is the largest pot still distillery in the state of Indiana. Pot still distillation is a small batch process focused on the concentration and retention of flavor and aroma. It is reflective of the grain, fruit, and other locally sourced ingredients. The distillery focuses on 4 pillars of distilling: bourbon, brandy, botanical spirits, and American history. Spirit of French Lake pays tribute to the many distilleries that once dotted the southern hills of Indiana pre-Prohibition. We focus on using the best practices of those early times in balance with the improved methods of today. Our spirits are crafted from the finest agricultural products that can be grown or sourced. Spirits of French Lake distilling philosophy is balance between the distiller's art and the contribution of the barrel, time, and patience. Our motto is simple: respect the grain. I had it, and then I just decided to do that dumb thing.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's what you do, Tiny.
So, we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. This here is Young Nose.
Good to be here, Tiny. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
It's not like having you. You're here all the time. So
Yeah. But still.
You're the main guy.
I'm the co-main guy.
The co-main guy.
Co-main guy.
Is that like co-mingle? You're co-main?
Something like that.
Or is that Kyber co?
It's like a partnership. We both kind of go along with it. One can't function without the other.
Well, tonight we're going along with it. So, anyways, I am Tiny. Great to be here. We podcast on all the major podcasting sites. If you want to listen to podcasts, we are right there everywhere, and even the newer sites that I've been hooking up into and subscribing to and everything. So check us out on all those sites. Please subscribe. That means a lot. We are also on YouTube. Hello, everybody on YouTube. We are going to be doing some live stuff. I'm trying to get this down. I'm trying to do a Facebook Live. I'm trying to start the Zoom. We are really going to up our technical game in the middle part of 2021. But we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys on YouTube. Check us out. We've got a bunch of YouTubes. Some of the podcasts are there, and also all of our Whiskey Live tastings and some of the Whiskey Live educational series on glassware or making a old fashioned.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty cool.
So
I went back and watched that one, and it was very good and very informational.
Yeah, so we're trying to do some stuff. We're trying to really get people excited about whiskey, and so we're there. We are on Facebook. Our Facebook group, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Please join. We are 370. I believe
we're getting close to
372 members.
Yeah, real close.
And speaking of, we had 5 new members this week. Mike Stevens, Barry Pickett, Robert Malcolm, Dan Boone, and David Willingham. Now, that was the 5 best guys yet to join with easy names to say. I mean, I'm terrible at last names. I can get your first names usually, but I'm suck at that. But with that said, welcome to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. I hope you have a great time. We do also meet through the group. We have our next meeting is May 8th, and that is going to be a Booker's meeting.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
That's going to be a good one. Very, very good one.
So if you're in Ohio, around this Ohio area,
or can get to Ohio,
yes, let us know. And we are looking at in the future, but I'm hoping that May 8th meeting, we can hold it outside. We're hoping for some nice weather in May. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That way, but when we have it outside, we'll be able to expand even bigger. So that I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. And also a couple other things. Please check us out on our website at scotchybourbonboys.com. There you can pretty much access anywhere that we are as far as social media. If you have any questions, have any concerns, want to reach out to us at all in any way, please do so via the Facebook Messenger group or the page, or you can contact us on Instagram, or you can email us directly at thescotchybourbonboys.com, which, by the way, I sent the newest Scotchy blog to the email.
I saw that
today.
I did see that.
So, all right.
So, also, did you just say Patreon?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So
I was thinking it, but I didn't say it.
So we are also on. We are on the web, www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check us out there. Our website, we updated. He was referring to the Scotchy blog. We updated with the blog. We updated with Whiskey Live tastings. You can find out a lot of stuff about us. And then also pictures. We are going to have an exciting April and June and September. There's going to be a lot of things coming up, but one of the things that's coming up in September that looks like it's going to happen and is getting close to being sold out. So if you have not gotten your tickets or you're not coming down, we're going to try and have, if it all works out, Scotchy Bourbon Boys Bonfire. We're doing as a meeting.
Say what?
So it's going to be Scotchy Bourbon Boy meeting there in Kentucky when we're down there, and so the bonfire. We're going to have a bonfire. People can come.
When is that happening?
We got to set the date based off what's happening at Kentucky Bourbon Festival in September.
Okay.
But and there's a lot of Scotchy Bourbon Boys going down already to Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and then so get your tickets. I mean, that's a key. I believe there's still tickets, single day tickets for Saturday. Not Saturday, for Friday and Sunday. So, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival is where it's going to be happening. With Bourbon and Beyond canceled this year, the musical concert series that happens usually and competes. This is going to be the weekend where everybody who is anybody in bourbon is going to be there, and it's going to be it's September 16th through 19th. It kicks off with dinner on that Thursday night, but I'm thinking if a couple people get down there early, we are going to be down there September 11th through the 19th, so that's going to be a lot of bourbon and distilleries and fun.
Yeah, lots of podcasting too.
Yeah, so we are. I'm very excited about what's going to be happening. I'm excited for this April trip. One of these once April kind of hits, and we know a little bit more, we're gonna. I mean, we are going to be, at the Spirit of French Lick. We're going to the Log Still Distillery.
I'll be there to join you at Log Still.
And we got a barrel pick that we're going to be kicking off. We'll talk about that, and then also we're going to Limestone Branch Distillery with Stephen Bean. It's just Sandy No is. I've been talking to her. We're going to probably get together there for that. And then I'm going down to Kentucky Wednesday and Thursday for a fun little endeavor. Randy Prossi, the president of Kentucky Bourbon Festival, will be hosting me, and Roxy. We're headed down Wednesday morning, and we're gonna, spend the night Thursday, do some things Thursday, and head back home, on Thursday. So it's gonna be a quick trip, but it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, it's always fun when you go down to Kentucky. There's no doubt about that.
And I'm gonna come back with something awesome again. So it's just what I look forward to. That's for sure.
Right.
So, with that said,
that brings us to Heaven's Door. So, I have to say this because it was something that came to mind as soon as you told me, and I started talking to Lena about it, my wife, which was the first name drop. So, sorry, wifey. Anyway, we were talking about it, and you had told me to go home and research Heaven's Door, and I told her about it. And she said, "What are you going to do? Start putting out Bible verses?" And I said, "Yeah, I should." Because there's only one way to Heaven's Door, and that's through Jesus Christ. So.
Yeah, and knocking.
And knocking. Yeah.
Knock, knock, knocking. Yeah, I mean, that brings us to tonight. I'm pretty excited. I was at my local establishment, and I've always seen the bottle. I've seen reviews on the whiskey, all the whiskey groups and sites, and there's people who like it, and people. I don't see too many people knocking this particular brand, but this is, for anybody who doesn't know, it's Bob Dylan's brand, and the design of the bottle is very unique. He has it. It's basically called Heavens Door Bourbon, Heavens Door Whiskey, Heavens Door Straight. It's Heavens Door.
The different brands, yeah.
Based off of and he's saying knocking on Heaven's Door. It's not the Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses Heaven's Door. It's Bob Dylan. I mean, it's just that's what it is, and we have a little bit of tasting notes, whatever. But let's just this kit. You can see it here. It's kind of cool. All the information right here on the 3 bourbons are right there on the back of the thing. Plus, you looked some up. Yep. And so
I got a little bit more in depth. You go ahead and open that up. So, as you were saying with the Heaven's Door, most like when I think of Heaven's Door, I think of the pearly gates that you get. St. Peter at the pearly gates, that sort of thing. That's what reminds me of what Heaven's Door would be. And that might be the same thing what was going through Bob Dylan's mind, because there are a couple quotes from Bob Dylan on their website, and I will read them to you right now. So the first one is, "Gates appeal to me because of the negative space they allow. They can shut you out or shut you in, and in some ways there's no difference. Also, we wanted to create a collection of American whiskeys that in their own way tell a story." So each whiskey in its own way tells a specific story. But a little further as far as the gates go, there is, So the iron gates depicted on all the bottles, as you can see here, as far as the YouTube watchers, there are different designs on each particular expression of whiskey from Heaven's Door. Same kind of similar theme, but they're all iron gates that Bob Dylan has created himself at his own metalworking shop, which is called the Black Buffalo Ironworks. And they are comprised of different objects that are found and collected from farms or scrapyards or both around America. So it's basically just a collection of different objects that you may see on a farm or a scrapyard or both. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, the whole concept of what he did was cool. It's just whether or not I've always, I'm not going to, doubt. I mean, Dylan, rock star, whiskey, that rock stars and whiskey go together. It's an art, creating whiskey. There's no doubt. But there's been some pretty, what'd you say, rock star things, whiskeys put out by other people that haven't always. But one that comes to mind was Rebel Yell. Rebel Yell brand inspired. It was a night with Billy Idol when they were doing it, and he was drinking Rebel Yell whiskey, and that was supposedly inspired the song. So I mean, whiskey is just hand in hand with musicians. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, I've seen the bottle many times. I mean, I recognize the bottle.
Yeah, I've seen it all the time.
It's on the shelf. It's on the shelf. It doesn't seem to move too much. It's not on the shelf very often. But what this particular tasting kit with the bottles and the price, and to get to taste all three at once really intrigued me. And I looked at it on the shelf and I said, "That's a podcast in a box."
Right.
And now it's a podcast in 3 sample bottles.
Yeah, the next one is going to be the Glenmorangie sample set that I'm going to get.
Well, you're in charge of the Scotch part. I'm just coming along for that ride.
Right.
But just so you know, I didn't let anybody know that, but we have to finish all 3 of those bottles before we leave tonight.
That ain't happening. I'll have a taste of each one, and then you can finish the rest.
All right, I'll just down them all one at a time.
You might be knocking on the door after that.
Yeah, exactly. I might actually be going in the door, just not knocking. So, for over 50 years, Bob Dylan has confounded the expectations of both his critics and fans, who have tried again and again to put him in an artistic box of their own design. Dylan's foray into spirits was to try his hand at the art of craft whiskey. Collaborating with some of the best distillers from across the country, together we knew we could offer something special, something inspired by the idea of determining one's own path despite what anyone else said. Bob Dylan pushes himself towards his creative conviction. Unconcerned about acclaim or external validation, for decades, this restlessness has pushed him beyond just making music and into painting, welding, and now whiskey. When the opportunity arose to partner with the legendary musician and cultural icon to help him create a unique collection of whiskeys, it was both exhilarating and daunting. Dylan, after all, can be a relentless perfectionist, and some might say insurrectable at times. It was clear that this was a passion project for Bob, and that was the only thing that mattered, was to create whiskeys that had their own unique flavor, or as Bob puts it, each tell their own story. As with most things born from passion and imagination, initial cynicism often turned to unreserved praise when the Heavens Door trilogy was tasted. Each of the 4 Heaven Doors expressions has medaled in key competitions internationally, including the 2018 San Francisco World Spirits Competition, the 2018 Ultimate Spirits Challenge, and the 2018 New York's World Wine and Spirits Competition. Heaven's Door has earned compliments from some of the most heralded whiskey experts in the world. If a new Dylan album was this critically well received, you'd expect it to go platinum. Forbes contributor Larry Olmsted noted in his piece, Bob Dylan and Whiskey, music icon wins rave reviews for his luxury spirits. So that gives you a little bit of what Bob was thinking making this. So what are we tasting first?
So first we have here is the Heavens Door Straight Rye Whiskey, and I'm probably going to butcher the word because I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced. But the rye whiskey is actually finished in a Vosges oak barrel. It's a French word. I'm not sure how you would pronounce that. It looks like Vosges, but I know that's not how you pronounce it. So.
Maybe Greg Schneider could help us with that.
Yeah, right. If you're listening, Greg, help us out here. For anybody else that's listening, I need some help enunciating the the finishing barrel. So, but anyway, so on their website it is breaking from tradition. This rye whiskey is finished in a toasted oak cigar barrel that was air dried in the low-lying mountainous regions of Vosges, France. Vosges, yeah. Resulting in a smoother, more approachable rye with notes of orange peel, coriander, and spice. Did you already taste it?
No, I know.
You're just knocking it.
No, I'm not knocking it. It tastes. It smells exactly like a rye that I hate.
Right. Well, it's a rye whiskey, my friend.
Yeah, but I've had 2 rye whiskeys lately that don't taste like rye whiskeys like this. If this is what rye whiskey is, I'm out.
All right. Well, a little bit more on this rye whiskey. It is actually a San Francisco World Spirits Gold Medal winner in 2018.
Shows what San Francisco knows.
It scored 94 points in the Ultimate Spirits Challenge under the American Rye category. And it also won in 2018 the gold medal in New York International Spirits for rye whiskey.
Okay.
So it is an awarded whiskey.
So we are going to barrel bash these. Barrel bashing is the Scotchy Bourbon Boy rating system. It consists of nose, taste, body, and finish, where we give 4 batches on a barrel per category, and if one category seems exceptional and you have this one butt up, you can add a butt up to the category for a total of 17 out of 16 would be a perfect bourbon or rye or scotch. So tonight we will be barrel bashing these 3. We've got the bourbon, the Tennessee bourbon, we have the double barrel whiskey, and we have the straight rye whiskey, and that's what we're tasting first. So, I am going to nose this. I get celery.
Celery.
That's all I smell. Celery with Tabasco sauce and Bloody Mary spices. Honestly, folks, it's not fair, but this type of rye whiskey, I do not like. It's just it's my palate. I don't like it, but I'm going to taste it tonight. I mean, it's right up there with the Ardbeg. I should pour like 5 gallons of water in this, and then maybe it'll taste better. But this actually smells like cow manure to me.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, I actually get the little bit of straw and shit in it. That's nothing.
We're not drinking Scotch single malt, man.
No, I smell it. I
guess this is as close to Scotch single malt as you can get with an American whiskey, other than an American single malt.
There's pickles in here too.
Using corn. I mean, it's definitely a high rye, because it's a rye whiskey, so you definitely get that herbal, floral notes. You get,
Man.
I definitely don't get celery, but I definitely get probably the coriander is what they're doing there. I don't really know, but it has a little bit of a spice to it.
I feel like I just ate Cow shit.
It has a little bit of a bread smell. You know, it has some grain into it, and there's some slight caramely oakiness on the back end. Yes.
On the taste or the smell?
On the smell. I haven't tasted it yet. I haven't put it to my lips.
Maybe if someone ate caramel and shit it.
There's a little bit of acorn at the bottom. Which is the seed of an oak, my friend.
I think I smell squirrel droppings because they ate the acorns. I mean, okay, so I'll get serious. I do. No, honestly,
I get a little bit of a vegetable smell, not necessarily celery.
That's celery to me, and then
juniper,
and then it's the stale urine of an old man in an old age home.
No, there's no stale urine in this at all. Like, I don't get any of that.
I get it. I get that really that condensed.
I get that robust rye smell.
But this isn't fair.
There's a little bit of a caramel and an oak on the undertone.
It's
There's
whiskey.
a little bit of like an acorn, walnut, kind of a nut smell at the bottom of the nose there. But
I get oak on the finish with dill. Okay, can we just rate this real fast? This has to get out of my glass. Oh, yuck!
Oh, yeah.
I just you.
Ooh. Ooh. I like that back of the palate into the finish transition. Like it starts rye
to the spoiled pineapple.
It's mid rye. There's no spoiled pineapple.
Yeah, it tastes like pineapple that's been sitting out for 3 days and it turned all brown.
Well, you might actually be onto something because I'm pretty sure there's pineapple in the tasting notes.
Okay. Anyways, so why don't you read the tasting notes? I don't like rye. I don't like this type of rye. So it's not Heavens Door's fault because some people love this.
I actually like this. This is really good.
You might be able to take that bottle home after we take some pictures.
Yeah, I probably could. Anyway, so the straight rye whiskey. Let's see here. Where'd my tasting notes go?
Yeah, where the hell did they go?
I don't know.
I was right on it today.
Orange peel, coriander, and spice. That's all I really got on the tasting note part of it. I know there was one that had pineapple in it. It was like grilled pineapple and something else.
Grilled pineapple.
Oh, and I know where that was. I was reading the bootleg edition.
Okay. So,
No, there it is. Mid palate of grilled pineapple and candy. That's the Tennessee bourbon.
So what are you going to give? Okay, I'm looking forward to that. But what are you going to give? What are you actually going to give this on the nose?
Okay, so now comparing this to other rye whiskeys that we've had, which are not very many, but there were a couple of rye whiskeys that I do remember that I really enjoyed, like the Rabbit Hole, the rye whiskey.
Didn't mind. I didn't mind those. Okay.
That was pretty good. So, but with this one on the nose, it's definitely rye whiskey, but it's not overpowering rye. I give it a 3. We got some bass going on with that barrel.
I did not like this nose. It's
apparently.
I've never had a bourbon that there's no bad bourbons in it still, but there are lots of bad ryes to me because there are good ryes. I found a couple that I like. I mean, the Booker's rye I was drinking last weekend was fantastic. I mean, holy shit. But compared to that,
this is the most bourbony rye that I could smell.
I give this nothing.
Nothing?
A 0.
You gave it a 0? You can't give it a 0.
I give it a 0.
You gotta at least give it a 1.
No, 0.
Alright. That's your score.
Yeah, it is. It's my palate. And my palate does not like this type of rye. It's like bullet rye. I give bullet rye.
This is not as rye-y as bullet rye.
But it still it still has the base taste
It
that
is so slightly rye that it is like...
No.
If you were a rye lover, like an authentic rye whiskey lover, you'd probably be like, nah, that sucks, because that ain't rye. That's like bourbon with some ryeness into it.
You're not going to change it. It's like it tastes like celery and pickles and the nose, and it's just.
I mean, it's,
I get
get
old man's urine.
Okay.
If I get an old man's urine on the nose, myself personally.
I get a little bit of dill on the finish, a little bit of that oak, but there's a lot of caramel in there. There's oak, there's some vanilla. It's delicious.
No, there's no vanilla. Where the shit do you? No vanilla, no. Spoiled pineapple, yes. No vanilla. Okay. Anyways, okay. So let's go on to the taste.
You're just biased against your rye. Anyway, the taste is really good.
I'm not biased.
The taste.
That's just. It's just.
You go first on your taste. Are you giving it another 0?
No, I'll give the taste a 1. The nose was just putrid and rancid to me, but the taste of I drank all the whiskey, so it's whiskey.
Because you had to get it out of your glass.
No, I could have just pushed it off to the side and stopped if it was that. So I'm not. The taste of the whiskey was okay, so I give it a 1.
All right. Well, I really enjoy this taste. I give it a 3 also. It's a really, really intriguing rye. Like this rye whiskey is rye, but it does not stay rye. It does not hold to a strong rye. It lingers back and forth between rye and bourbon. There's no. Yeah, it seriously does.
There's nothing about this.
There's caramel in there.
There's no
vanilla
caramel
in there.
There's no vanilla. It's fucking celery. It's like eating a salad. Okay, so the body. Let's go on. So wait, you gave it a 3.
I gave it a 3.
All right, 6-1. You're beating me.
So the body. I'll go first.
Okay.
The body is thin. It is definitely not a thick body. It has a slight creaminess feel. Nothing compared to other bourbons that I've had before. I give it a 2.
I will agree. The best thing about this is the fact that the body of this tasting of this bourbon doesn't do what a good body does. That would give me a body of crap in my mouth, so I'm going to give it a 2 also.
And the finish.
All right, if we go for the finish, it's oaky and bitter with a little bit of spoiled pineapple to me. It's medium finish, so I will give the finish a 1. Or a total score of 4. The worst score I've given.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think it's
I'm not agreeing with your finish score, but I'm saying that's the worst score that you have.
It's the worst score any whiskey has gotten on this podcast. And I'm being critical, but it's not. So nobody should. If you like rye whiskey, you should drink this. I'm not sitting there saying, but if you don't like rye whiskey like me, this is you. I wouldn't try it.
I would recommend this if you are a bourbon drinker and you want to try some rye whiskey.
So that you never drink rye whiskey ever in your whole life. That's a good idea.
No.
Hey, folks,
this is like
drink more bourbon. Brought to you by the Bourbon Distillers of Kentucky and the United States. Jesus. Yes. If you want to try rye whiskey, there you go and get it. You just keep knocking. Anyways, you didn't break anything, did you?
No, I don't think so.
We're not used to this setting, but I think I like the setting. I have a shadow and you don't. Is that saying like you're like some kind of vampire or something? You don't have a shadow?
No, that means I'm the light and you're the darkness.
Yeah, probably when it comes to rye.
Because I mentioned Jesus at the beginning of this podcast.
And hey, I'm all for Jesus. I didn't say anything bad.
No, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so my point on this rye is that it is not very bam in your face rye. Those rye flavors are there. The finish on this is delicious. It is not a long finish as far as heat, but it does have a lot of flavor. And the flavor that lingers over in my mouth is vanilla and a little bit of oak. So I give this finish a 3.
For a total
of 11.
Okay, so I might drink this while eating hot wings. with some blue cheese, because this would be like the celery. And then you do the hot wing, you do a shot of that, and then you do that. I could do that. Okay, but that's not what I like in whiskey. So,
all right. Take your water.
Water.
Clean out your putrid rye whiskey glass.
I've already done that. It's been done. It has been done.
Right,
but
so
I'm going the bourbon.
The Tennessee
The Tennessee bourbon.
Oh, gotta be careful.
Straight bourbon whiskey. So, well,
you open, I'll talk.
You talk. There you go.
Right.
I'm looking forward to this, actually. I think this is the one that I've always thought I wanted to pick up, and we picked it up, and let's just see.
All right, well, let's try it. So this Tennessee bourbon is a Tennessee straight bourbon, so it's a straight Tennessee whiskey, straight bourbon, whatever you want to call it. It is aged 10 years, but it has not been entered in any, at least as far as right now, into any spirits competitions, so it does not have any awards as far as the rye went. But on their website, the Tennessee bourbon is a 10-year, it's rich and full-bodied whiskey that is mellowed off the still using columns of aged Tennessee sugar maple trees, or also known as the Lincoln process, which is similar to Jack Daniel's and any other Tennessee whiskey, which is bourbon. It's just they go through a specific process off of the still. So
look at. That's how I pour samples, and that's how you
Jesus. Well, good, because I got this to take home with me. You can keep that.
Well, I'm glad I did. I didn't take any more of that.
Anyway, so on the nose you get fresh multi-grain baked bread with ripened nougat. The mid-palate is grilled pineapple with candied walnuts. The finish is a mix of sweet and savory with peaches and tobacco.
Yeah, I definitely get a vanilla, and I get the bread. I get a little bit of some sort of... It's 10 years. This can't be young, but it's almost...
This is a fresh baked raisin bread. It does not have the cinnamon raisin bread, but it's like, you know what this reminds me of? I just had some a couple weeks ago. This reminds me of an Irish soda bread. It's fresh, it's crisp, it has raisin, a nice sweet raisin smell, but yeah, I totally get Irish soda bread.
Why would you, a couple weeks ago, be eating Irish soda bread?
I have no idea. It couldn't have been because of St. Patty's Day. But this is what it reminds me of. It reminds me of that snow when I had, you warm it up a little bit just to get it warmed, and it's that fresh, crisp, sweet bread, and then it has some raisins in it. It's really
I'm getting
good.
some caramel. I'm getting some, some bread smell. I agree, and I get a vanilla. It's not real sweet, and there is some sort of lingering. Maybe it's I think I actually get the pineapple again. It's not a spoiled pineapple.
Well, the pineapple is supposed to come mid-palate.
Well, I'm
But
getting
you
it on the
get
nose.
it on the nose, too, because the olfactory and your taste buds kind of work hand in hand.
My nose, both nosing.
I get a slight.
I enjoyed that. I enjoy
so
it.
maybe I get a slight sugary oak. So maybe from the
It's a little bit different than most bourbons. There's no doubt.
Well, this isn't a bourbon. This is Tennessee. Well, I guess they call it a bourbon.
It is a bourbon.
It is a bourbon, right?
It's a bourbon.
It's Tennessee bourbon. So
I like Wisconsin bourbons. I
know.
like all bourbons.
Just like Indiana bourbon has an Indiana profile, this has a Tennessee bourbon profile.
I don't know
That's
if it
all.
does.
That's all I was saying.
I don't know. I think it's right there. It's right there with. I could tell you. It's a nice, pleasant nose. There's no doubt.
It's soft and subtle. Okay, we gotta keep going.
All right, let's go.
Young nose has got to leave in like 2 minutes.
Okay. Okie.
Even though I got here late, wifey's still picking me up at 9:30.
Well, hurry up then.
You go.
I already did. I drank it.
Go on with it. What's your nose? What's your taste rating? Get the barrel bashing.
Burnt vanilla custard. And it's not mid palate where the pineapple shows up. It's in the finish at the end. It's almost astringent, but it's not. The 10 years does. I'm sure before the 10 years, there was some astringent tastes in it, but the maturity of this.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That is actually really good.
All right. So,
All right. Nose.
I give it a 3. It was pleasant. It wasn't one of the best noses I ever, tasted or smelled.
I would agree with a 3.
All right.
It is a good nose. The taste.
I'm gonna also give it a 3.
Yeah. Taste is nice. Nothing crazy on it that I enjoy particularly, but I do give it a 3.
This is, I believe, is it 90 proof? Yes. Is that what it says right there?
Can't see.
Yeah, me neither.
You gotta move your hand. Here, hold on.
It's right there.
45%. Yeah, 90 proof.
90 proof. It's a nice. It drinks nice for a 90. Nice hug. Body.
The rye was actually a 92 proof.
Well, I know the rye was up 1, but we started with rye because
So you can get it over with, and so we could.
So it would
debate
wreck
about
the
rye
other ones. Yes, putting this up against that is like night and day for me. Okay, so
But see, that's the thing. It's just I don't understand why. But even though that rye whiskey has the rye flavors to it, I've got a lot more "quote unquote" bourbon flavor off of that rye whiskey than I did off of this Tennessee bourbon. Yeah.
No way. That all I got was putrid, horrible rye. Rye.
It was like zombie sex.
Yeah, it was with while the zombies peeing on you. It's just so. Anyway, so we're at 3.3 body. I'm gonna give this. Let's see. Body gets a 3.
I have to drop the body down to a 2. It's still light and crisp, but it doesn't have that creamy aspect. It's almost a little oily. And for a bourbon, whiskey, I would expect something a little bit more full body.
So, anyways, I just pulled off the finish. It's a tart green apple. There's a tart green apple finish with a little bit of oak.
Yeah,
and burnt.
That's been cooked over an open fire.
I'm gonna have to
like
give.
that.
I'm gonna give this 3 across the board. 12 out of 16. It's a drinkable.
Yeah,
I would recommend for the price of this. It's not overly expensive. It's a nice bourbon.
Yeah, I would agree, but I do drop the finish also to a 2. It doesn't have as much flavor. It has a little bit more of an alcohol heat on the end, a little dry fruit, but it's still good. Just not
The tart apple took it up to me for a 3 that I got some of that, but 2. So that puts you at. I was
10.
12. You were 10 and I was 12.
6 and 4. Yeah.
I'm going to win the low score aspect of this tonight, which you usually win, but you don't have any chance.
We're not playing golf.
Yeah, but yeah, we are.
I'm going to give that there double barrel a 2 out of 15 or 16.
That's the only chance you got, and you're not going to do. Ooh, I just downed that bourbon, and the sweetness came through on that. Do that, yeah. Look at that. How much more sweetness when you. Ooh. That's a shot bourbon right there. That's a shot bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is good.
So just for that, I don't know where I'm going to put it, but there's going to be a butt up in there somewhere. Even though I didn't give it a 4, so
that's going to be a whole new category in itself.
That shot thing.
That's shot ability.
Downing it. No, but downing it, I really got the sweetness I wasn't getting off the sipping. So we're at 13 out of 16, and you gave it a 10, right?
Yeah, still at a 10. Yeah, even though that shotness, that shot ability was pleasant. I don't put that in.
Yeah, I'm going to hold you for a couple extra minutes tonight, just a couple, because it was good that you were a little bit late tonight go let Alice fall asleep, but we're gonna finish this and
Well,
go out.
well, yeah, I gotta try that because I still got stuff to talk about over here. So anyway, we are on to the Heavens Door Double Barrel Whiskey.
Water, please. Thank you. Would you like some water in one of those?
Here, I haven't used that one yet.
Drink it. Drink the water out. I don't know what I'm getting, but I'm getting lipstick in the water. Do you get a weird taste on the water?
No.
Ooh, I didn't get the pop, but there it was. Okay, so I'm excited about this because we are talking double barrel whiskey.
Yeah, this
At
is
100
Heavens
proof.
Door's double barrel whiskey. Yeah, this is the higher proofing. Let's see here. For double barrel whiskey is a blend of 3 whiskeys. It is then aged normally, but then on the secondary aging for the double barrel. It's aged for 1 year in a hand-toasted American oak barrel. The higher proof balances with the complexity of its flavor and notes of caramel, oak, and citrus with spice.
Butterscotch. Oh my God! This definitely we did this in the right order. That's one of the better. That's right up there with the Woodford double. It's got the same nose as the Woodford Double Oaks. Smell that. Just smell that. It's
Ooh.
fantastic.
Oh my, yeah.
That's a butt up.
That is straight butterscotch.
Yep.
A little bit of vanilla on the back end with that butterscotch, and not a whole lot of ethanol, even for being high proof. Not a whole lot of oak. It's a little bit there.
A little bit of oak, but it's butterscotch with a little bit of oak. I'll give you a little vanilla, but I'm trying to pull a floral, like a daffodil. Like a butter. It's buttery.
It is buttery.
Let's see what it
Like
does.
I can taste the butter in my mouth just by smelling.
Look at how it clings
Does
with
it have
those
long legs?
long legs.
Nice.
It's buttery. Nice. Yeah, it clings to the glass. It's 100 proof. Let's see. I hope this.
This is very good.
I really want it to taste as good as it smells.
Come on, Xavier, don't let us down.
No. Holy shit. I need to get myself a bottle of that.
Ooh.
Good job, Bob Dylan.
Ooh.
It's not. I definitely. It's not Bob Dylan's fault that I hate rye whiskey, and he made a rye whiskey with a flavor profile that I hate. But everybody has their own flavor profile, so I stress that. But I'm not. I can't lie. But this is the shit. This is whiskey. This is what I buy.
Yeah.
I buy the bourbon.
Yeah.
I like the bourbon, but I would.
Yeah.
This is heaven. This one is.
This is very good. Yeah.
This I could get fucked up on. I wonder. That's just so sweet and.
Yeah, I could see myself getting a little undisciplined with this here bourbon.
You take the rye,
Oh, I'll gladly take that.
and I'm keeping this.
Okay,
Uh,
which means we're finishing that one tonight.
and we will be finished. Anyways, so yeah,
This is good.
I did enjoy that immensely. I'm
All
gonna.
right, we gotta rate it.
So let's rate away.
Oh my gosh.
The
nose is a 4. I give the nose a 4. Absolutely.
I give the nose a 4 with a. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. All right, on to the taste. The taste is pretty much just as incredible as the nose. It is sweet, caramel, vanilla, butterscotch. Not strong, not powerful. It's very, very smooth, which goes into the body. But so as far as the taste, it gets a 4 also.
Bashing that fucking barrel. I give it a. You bad boy. Alright, I give it a 4 also. let's go to the body. It clings. The legs are long. It's
Creamy.
it's funny
Body.
when you look. It's a very light color. You
Yeah.
do not expect a lot of times when bourbons, but this is once again a whiskey. So, did you have any tasting notes on this? This was the one we didn't have any tasting notes, or did you?
No, I already read it. It's basically a notes of caramel, oak, citrus, and spice. That's all I got.
Okay.
But this one is an award winner. I do have information on that. So this double barrel whiskey was a 2018 double gold medal from the San Francisco World Spirits. It received 93 points for the Ultimate Spirits Challenge under American Whiskey category. And in 2019, it won the London Spirits competition as Whiskey of the Year.
All right. So, no, I would have to say the body is also a 4. And yes, it is. It fills your mouth with pure butterscotch. It's a light drinker, but then there's oak. And the oak aspect. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. I give the body a 4 on this. It's completely awesome.
The body on this one, I would have to agree, it is definitely full body. It's actually a flavorful body. I normally don't try to continue flavor into body because body for me is more mouthfeel, the weight in your mouth, those tingles, but I can't help but notice that it does have that butterscotch body flavor along with the creamy, the full body, the richness. So I actually give this body a 4 with a but-up. But-up.
There you go. All right. So the finish for me, this is the weakest part of the bourbon. Not that it's bad.
Correct.
It's not bad.
I would agree.
Okay, it's a medium finish and it's oaky. I would love for that butterscotch taste. It's a sweet oak, but it's not that butterscotch in there.
Right.
But it's medium. I mean, it's not. I mean, this is a damn good bourbon,
It's
and
very, very
I would have to give this finish a 3.
I would have to agree. It's not quite a 4 on the finish just because it's not a long, it's a light to medium length, short to medium length, somewhere along the lines there. The flavor pretty much quickly dies out. I don't get a lot of the oak. I do get a little bit of like a vanilla on the end, which is a little bit sweet, but it's not. It just needs a little bit more, so I give it a 3 as well, but it's still very good.
So we both gave Heavens Door double barrel whiskey 16 of 16,
That's correct.
which is an awesome score.
5
One
and
of
3.
the best whiskeys we've tasted here on the Scotchy Bourbon Boys this year. So it's right up there.
Amen.
It's like I was not expecting that, but after whatever, the bourbon was good. I didn't like the rye. You like the rye.
I really
you
like
like
that.
rye, yeah, and you get to take that home.
Sweet.
So let's let
Let Bob Dylan
take us out, and you take us out with Where the Hell We Are.
So, we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. If you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe to the podcast. We're available anywhere that you can listen to podcasts.